Let's start with the basics. FIFO is a cloud-based software, and to access it, you need to use a web browser. Common web browsers include Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, Safari, and Google Chrome. For this demo, we will be using Chrome, and it is recommended that you use Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. First, navigate to your web browser. For demonstration purposes, we will be using the FIFO demo site. On the address bar, type in the address apps.fifo.ph and press enter. You will then be shown the login page for the FIFO demo application. On the screen, you will see the login interface, which is where you will enter your login credentials in order to gain access to the system. Enter the provided username and password and select the location. After successfully logging in, you will see something similar to this screen. Up top is the navigation bar. Here, you can find the main sections of the system: the dashboard, which is where we are right now, purchase order, receiving, releasing, inventory, and admin if you're a system administrator. Under each section, except for the dashboard, you will find different components of the system called modules. These modules open individual tabs where you can do different actions. They are grouped into 3 different categories, namely transactions, reports, and settings. You can reveal or hide these modules by clicking on their category names. Each user will have access credentials set by the administrator, giving them access to different modules and their functions. For the purpose of this tutorial, we will be using an account with full access to all modules. When you have a lot of modules open, you can switch between them by clicking on the tab you want to go to, similar to web browsers. Or you can right-click on any tab and jump to certain modules by clicking on their module name. The currently active module will have blue text. If you want to close modules, just click on the little close button on the tab, or by right-clicking and clicking close. You can also click close all but the current module, or simply close all. Transaction modules have 2 main parts to them. First is the form. It is where you can enter the transaction details. And second is history, where you can see past transactions. Settings modules are sort of similar, but instead of having history, they have a list button, where you can see the list of records. Both transactions and settings modules will have a save button for saving and a reset button for clearing all the fields and resetting the entire module to how it was when you first opened it. If you want to edit a transaction or a record, go to History or List in the Settings module. Select the record, click Edit, and the details will be retrieved to the Form tab. You can make the necessary changes and hit Save. If you want to delete a transaction, you can also do so by clicking the little Delete button. Eventually, there will come a time where there will be thousands of rows on lists and other tables. That is where the Pagination feature comes in. If you look at the bottom of the table, you will see a field where you can see how many rows will be displayed per page on the grid. By default, it will be set to 50. You can go to the next page by clicking this button, and if you want to go to the last page, click the button next to that instead. If you want to go back, then simply click the reverse of those buttons. If you want to reset the entire table, click this reset button and the table will be reverted back to its original state. Reports will have different fields called filters. Most drop-down fields by default are set to all, and you can simply change any of these fields. Date fields are set to 1 month prior to the current date, and again, you can change these to any date range you want. You can either enter the date manually using a month, day, year format, or use the date picker. Once you have set your desired filters, click the View button and the report will generate. You can also export or print any list or report with these buttons on the upper right corner of every module. Just click the PDF button and it will automatically generate the PDF for you. Clicking the Excel button will generate a spreadsheet instead and will start the download.